All right, we're streaming live on Facebook. I'm so sorry, everybody. I had technical difficulties. This keeps happening to me. So anyway, I'm Joyce Fine. Thanks for being here with us tonight. And I've been doing these amazing interviews. I'm calling them the confidence interviews, and they are with women, either single working moms or other women who are just killing it with their confidence and doing amazing things. So when I heard about Monique Latisse Scott, who lives one town away from me, I thought I have to talk to her, because one of the things that I truly believe about confidence is that when using humor, to me, is such a great way to build your confidence. And I feel like you have to have so much courage, and there's just so much that I guess that goes into building yourself up and being able to not just tell a joke, but stand up in front of people, and you're sort of, exposing yourself in a way. And I just have so much respect for that. And so I just want to take a few moments just to introduce my guest. So Monique Latisse Scott is here with us tonight. She's a comedian, and she is also the owner of Monique's Comedy Club. Is that the correct?
Yes.
Okay. And she does all kinds of other things too. This woman is so busy and gets it all done. And so I'm so excited to talk to you tonight. And I really, my goal for these interviews is to help women get the inspiration they need from hearing from women who are doing it, and they're making their dreams come true, and they're working through their blocks and their confidence issues and making it happen. So thank you so much for being with us tonight, Monique. I appreciate it so much.
You're welcome.
I know you're so busy. So to get started, and feel free, everybody, if you want to just put some stuff in, if you have some thoughts, and we're going to go through and look at, see if there's any questions or comments at the end, and then we can talk about that stuff. So, so let's set it off. Like, how did this? Give us some context. How did this happen?
Which one, the comedy part?
Yeah, like how did you know that this is what you wanted to do, and where were you in your life when you made that decision to be a comedian?
I went through a really bad depression 10 years ago. I was kind of always kind of depressed. I was going through a lot of changes in my
Mm,
family and different circumstances. And I just felt out of water.
mm,
And I couldn't put my finger on it. And I tried different things. I've always been curious about trying different things and just kind of searching for my purpose, and just kind of kept running into kind of dead zones,
yeah.
and just feeling empty. And then I started
Mm,
feeling guilty because, I'm a mom, I got a decent job. Why am I still feeling empty?
right, right,
And I just I just got to the point where I was like, Lord, show me why you created me.
right.
Show me my purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Because something's not connecting.
Yeah.
And I got just like that. Like I remember the day like it was yesterday, 10 years ago. And I
Mm-hmm.
had tried different things. I even, started a business a couple of years prior to comedy. Nothing was just something was always missing.
Just didn't feel right.
Just didn't feel like the dots were connecting.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, one day I was in a shower and I was crying. I was like, Lord, I
Mm,
need to know why you created me, because something's missing in my life.
right.
Um, and I'm crying
Showers are always the place where that kind of thinking happens, right?
because I felt like I was crying. I felt like my
Yeah.
back was against the wall.
Mm-hmm.
I was broke. I was, I had bad credit. I was single. I was in and out of bad relationships and dysfunctional relationships. I was in a bad place, um, in a lot of different areas of my life, and I wasn't happy.
Right.
And I wasn't suicidal, but I was in a place where I didn't care what happened to me.
That's
So
bad.
I
Yeah.
was like, Lord, show me, because really I'm done. I'm
Yeah.
done. So he was like, girl, you are not done. You are not done. And just like that, he sent someone down to
So what
come
happened?
into my life, to call me and invite me to do a comedy show. And I'm like, a comedy show? I'm always crying and looking sad. Like, who wants to see me crying and looking sad? Like, that
So
doesn't make sense.
people must have thought you were funny.
You know, I've always been outspoken, always been expressive,
Yes.
never been shy.
Right.
So these are qualities I guess people saw prior to me doing stand-up.
Great. Mm-hmm.
So, you know, the guy called and he's like, hey, you know, we go to the same barbershop. I've been watching you. Why don't you try stand-up? And I'm like, no way. I gotta get on stage, tell my business. You know, what am I gonna say? Like, no way. So anyway, long story short, I talked to my pastor about it at the time.
Mm-hmm.
That absolutely give it a shot.
Yeah.
Give it all you got. So I said a prayer and I said, Lord, if I give this a shot and it works, I need you to make it huge. I needed to be mind blowing. I didn't
Yes.
want to just kind of just do it and then dabble. Like, I wanted it to be full blown if I was going to do it.
Okay.
And I was working 2 jobs. I had my 9 to 5 job,
Mm-hmm.
and then I was working at A&P at night.
Got it.
And I would go to work, not my 9 to 5, go to A&P, and then after that, I would go looking for open mics. And I did that for years. I would drive over to New York with no money, no gas. I would run the toll and just say, Lord, like, work it out for me, work it out. I have no money, no gas, no nothing. But I just felt like just going. And I just kept going. I just kept going.
Amazing.
Just
So
doing
the first time that guy that you knew when you were doing your hair and he asked you, so that was the first time you ever did a stand-up.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about that. Must have been, I can only imagine that being terrifying.
It was the worst day of my life. I was so scared.
So what happened? Like, what did you have to say to yourself and how did the audience react? And
So I ran from it for a while. Like, the show I was supposed to do with him, it never
okay.
came up. Something happened.
Okay.
So my daughter,
but it was always in the back of your mind.
Yeah, I couldn't sleep. It was just like, it
Wow.
just stirred my spirit.
So cool.
Finally, my daughter says to me, the first day of school, 2010.
Yeah.
My oldest daughter says to me, Mom, you keep, this comedy thing it's I can see it in your eye. You're talking about it. I know that you're nervous and scared, but just go after it. My daughter said years ago, I was watching a television show and I said, I want to do that. I don't remember that.
Oh, but she did.
That.
Wow.
So she said, why don't you go after your dream? She said, we'll be okay.
That's amazing.
She said, we'll be okay. And I get teary-eyed when I think about that because
yeah, it's great.
Single mom. Sorry.
That's okay.
I was a single mom, working 2 jobs. My son was having a lot of problems at the time. And I felt guilty for going after my dream. I did. But I prayed and I asked God to cover me while I go after the dream. Because it happened so fast.
Yep.
And the more I started doing the comedy and doing this, my personal life started, I felt a healing that was happening.
That's amazing. And that's such a great, I feel like people need to hear that, especially single moms, because there's so much guilt that goes into taking care of the kids, being there. You have to be mom and dad. And it's hard. And it's like, it's so hard to step up and say, but it seems like your kids really, they understood and they were really, your daughter especially.
It did. It was rough. My son got in some trouble. I was working like a monster.
Yes.
That's the thing. When you really push yourself, and you're really like driven.
Yeah.
It's a hard balance.
Yes.
You know, it was when I got into comedy, I went in head first, and it, you know, I felt that it cost me in a lot of areas. I did.
But I guess looking back though, I mean, I just, you know, from one single mom to another, it's like if you didn't do it, where would you be now? You know what I mean? It would be so much more difficult, I feel like.
I I don't know where I would be if I wasn't doing this.
Right.
I don't know who I would be if I wasn't doing this.
So tell us about the first time you had to get up on stage and, you know, talk about confidence. Tell us, like, how did that feel? What was that like?
It was a nightmare. It was the worst thing in my life. It was horrible. I walked into Pianos in Bloomfield.
Mm-hmm.
It was open mic night. There were two women sitting at the bar. I walked up to the woman and I said, listen, I'm getting ready to do the scariest thing in my life. It was scarier than giving birth. It was scarier than everything that I've encountered.
Right.
So they were so excited for me. They was like, oh my God, you're gonna
Awesome.
stand up? And they bought me a Long Island iced tea. I'll never forget the first time I ever had a Long Island iced tea. I sat there and I sipped on my iced tea.
Mm-hmm.
I watched the other comedians go up, and
I feel nervous for you. Like,
I was
oh,
like, I
yeah.
was so nervous. It was
Mm-hmm.
like a shaking in my body that I can't even explain.
Wow.
But I went up and I did 5 minutes and the crowd went crazy.
That's awesome.
The crowd went crazy. And I was like, oh my God. So I went back the next week because I wanted to make sure what I saw and felt was true.
Real, right. Mm-hmm.
So my daughter came with me and I said, just watch the crowd and tell me if I'm imagining things. And she came with me and I went up again. I was scared.
Yep.
And she said, Ma, I think you got something here. And I was like, no, because I really didn't want to. Honestly, I was hoping that it would go, whatever the feeling was about doing stand up would go away.
Right.
Like, I was hoping that I would talk myself out of it. I was hoping that, you know, I would be so afraid that, you know,
and then you could say, okay, I tried it and
exactly.
I got it out of my system. Right.
Exactly. But it was like a drug. Like once I did it, you know, and then God kept sending people in my life to just encourage me to do it more and more and more. Like it seemed like I would go a little down the ways. Somebody would say, keep going going down the road, go further, keep going down the road, don't look back. Next thing you know, I'm running. I'm like, so here I am.
It's amazing.
Yep.
So you got, I mean, I saw a clip of a stand-up you had done. That's how I found you to do this talk. And you were hysterical, but the thing that I thought was really great was a lot of your material was about being kind of, you know, older, you know, the state of affairs of a woman our age kind of a thing. Yes. And the crowd was just roaring. And it was just really, and is that mostly what you talk about? Or is there just the vulnerability of?
I can't imagine talking about anything else.
Right.
Like my life is funny. Like I crack myself up. So, you know, I talk about things that hurt me, things that make me laugh, right. Things that I'm curious about, things that I dream of. Like I pile it all into one, and you have Monique Latisse.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So creative and just so like, just being, I guess, like I said, just being vulnerable. You're putting it out there, and you just, you know inside that it's good, and you know in your heart that you're putting out your stuff, and people really respond. And what a great feeling that is.
I didn't always know it was good. You know, when you're trying anything new, you don't know.
Yes, that's true.
You don't know. I knew I loved people, so I believe that my love for people was clear.
Right.
It was clear. It was evident in my performance. You know, I didn't want to come on stage and be the bad comedian, and I didn't want to come on stage talking about people. And, I wanted people to see me and relate to me.
Yes.
Black, white, Chinese,
Got it.
no matter what background you're from, married, single. Um,
Right.
I wanted women to relate to me. That was important to me.
And
Um,
that courage to put that out there. I could see, many people really wouldn't have the courage to do that. So
it's not
I
easy.
commend you.
It's not easy. It wasn't
Mm,
easy, but it's, when you love something so much, it's almost like being in love. You can get hurt, right?
yes. Yeah.
Love is risk.
Great analogy.
Love is risky.
Yeah.
I believe in my heart, to truly love, you have to expose every inch of insecurity you have.
Yep.
No, you can't leave no stone unturned in a relationship in order to
That's right.
experience the full capacity of love.
It's a
So I
great
look at,
analogy, Monique.
thank you.
Hmm.
I look at my life the same way. I look at comedy the same way. In
Right.
order for
Right.
me to receive everything that I'm supposed to receive, I can't
Hmm.
leave any stones unturned. I
Hmm.
can't be afraid, because you're gonna miss out. You're gonna miss
That's
out.
true. That's really
And
true.
I'm here. I'm here for the making. I'm the first in class. I'm up early in the morning. Early bird gets the worm.
Yes, you are. I mean, I see what you're doing in some respects, because I've been, I listen to some of your Facebook lives and stuff, and you're out there, you're working your tail off, and you're telling people like it is, and it really shows. It's amazing. And so let's move on in time a little bit to you now are deciding to open your own comedy club.
Mhm.
So tell us a little bit about, or a lot about that. How did that happen?
Okay, so I'm working as a comedian, doing 7 shows a week.
Wow.
I was kind of getting, I wanted more.
Mm-hmm.
I was kind of feeling like I was running in a rat race,
Wow.
just running up and down the highways, driving all times of the night. Got to get up and go to work in the morning,
Exhausting.
spend time with your family.
Yeah.
It was just a lot. And I felt like I was going and going and going. And
Mm-hmm.
I kind of set a goal for myself a couple of years ago that
Mm-hmm.
I will get all I can get out of whatever I'm doing. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want it to be any ceiling, any roof. I
Right.
wanted to be able to just propel myself.
Yep.
And I had a dream one night, and the dream was that, go ahead and open up a comedy club. You're going to open up a comedy club. And I'm like, I had thought about it in the past, but didn't see how really it would happen.
Right.
I actually saw a building that I wanted, and I went over by the building. I prayed, and I asked God. I said, if this is for me, make it easy for me.
Right.
Make it easy for me. I don't want to have to, really struggle. I kind of worry about how I'm gonna get the finances. Like, put it in my lap.
Minor detail.
So I woke up from the dream, and the
Mm-hmm.
dream was so real that I went looking for this club. I'm like, all right, God said I was opening up a club. Where's the club? So I went different
Wow.
places. I called different realtors, and everything was kind of expensive. And I was like, how am I going to do this? You know, and I started talking to God. I said, am I doing this with a partner? I started really breaking down what he wanted. I spoke to him just like I'm speaking to you.
Mm-hmm.
Should I team up with someone? Like, how do you want me to do this?
Yeah.
He said, this is something that I'm giving you. You're going to grow it. And I was like, okay, I'm going to grow it. Interesting. So that told me that I'm going to be, that I needed to find something that was kind of buildable.
Right.
I walked into the location that I'm at now, and he just assured me that this was it. It
It just
it,
felt right.
it just felt right. Just felt right. And we did the negotiating, signed the contract, and 2 months later, I was planning a grand opening.
That's
600
it. So
people.
exciting. Say that part again. I'm sorry.
600 people was at the grand opening.
That's amazing. And the club, from what I can tell, it's more than just a comedy club. There are things that you do that benefit the community.
Absolutely.
There's all kinds. So you're taking it to this level that is. Can
I
you
thank
talk a little bit about that?
Yes, I thank God for COVID-19.
Mm,
I thank God for COVID-19 because prior to COVID-19, I was thinking about just comedy, 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 comedy,
yeah.
comedy. And I couldn't see no other lanes, just comedy.
Right.
And I was getting a lot of flack about that. Like, you're not going to get the support. People don't love comedy like that. I'm like, but I do. I love comedy. So 6 weeks later, after opening, COVID came, and everything was lost, and different things transpired, and I had the opportunity to revamp my business plan. I had the opportunity to really look at what I could do with the space, how I can market the space, how I can brand the company. What kind of services I can put under Monique's Comedy Club.
Right.
Yeah, and I'm in finance. I'm a business development rep for my company.
Right.
So I'm responsible for growing the credit union. And I said, this is my 25th year at the credit union.
Wow.
How can I merge that knowledge that I've gained throughout the years with this business opportunity that I have now?
Wow.
So I started expanding my
Mm-hmm.
services, and really networking with people all during the pandemic, coming up with ideas to market and to brand and to get the word out. And it just became bigger than even what I set out to do.
Because you were so open to whatever could come, whatever you could make, from it, and thinking differently. It's so great that was happening for you.
I felt like I had no choice. We were stuck in the house.
Yes, right. You're right.
It was either give up on my dream. Like, I've been doing comedy too long to give up
Yes.
on it,
No. Right.
I've been doing
Exactly.
comedy for 10 years, and it's a way of life for me. So it was no way that I was just going to sit and just let COVID destroy,
No.
my plan, God's plan.
So do you, when you have people come into the club, either for the core, for what you are doing with the credit union or for a show, you follow the, I guess, the guidelines, and everyone wears a mask. And I know you also have virtual
Yes.
shows too.
I don't have anyone coming there for the credit union. That's kind of separate.
Okay.
Just
Okay.
some of the courses are things that I've learned working at the credit union. Like,
Got it.
I was an underwriter, so I'm doing a credit course,
Nice.
and different things. So, yes,
And
I
I think,
limits.
do you want to tell people what the course is called, just in case anyone's interested in finding out more?
Absolutely. I'm offering a course called Your Credit Deserves a Second Chance. And it's a great course to help people get a clear understanding of credit, what credit means, and how they can make better credit choices.
And I think that's so important for our audience. A lot of people watching are single moms, and that if people aren't thinking about that, they should be.
Yeah.
And that's a great opportunity to, and where would they find, Monique, where would they find that information?
They can actually go on my comedy website to www.moniquescomedyclub.com and click on the link for October 18th. And it's called Your Credit Deserves a Second Chance. The registration fee is only $37, and it's going to be a life-changing experience.
That sounds amazing. I'm going to check that out myself.
Thank you.
So what about the other shows and things that you have now that you are established in your community? I think you're also are you the only comedy club in your town, or there's something unique about it?
I'm the only comedy club in Patterson. One of the first black female to open up her own comedy club in New Jersey.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. It's truly an honor, just to even accomplish something like that.
Oh,
So I'm
huge.
grateful for it. Mm-hmm.
You should be really proud.
Thank you.
So do you seek out other comedians to, or do they find you, or is it a mixture of both, or how does that work?
So I've been booking comedians for years. So,
Okay.
as a comedian myself, I have a relationship with a lot of the comedians. So I'm getting to know new ones. I'm looking for new talent now so I can, share my platform with up and coming comedians. It's like comedy is like a family.
Yes.
So
Seems
it's
like that.
us. But
Yeah.
as a club owner now, I have to reach out beyond my circle.
Got it.
So I'm working on that. I'm bringing new faces down to the club and just, trying to figure it all out. Yeah.
So exciting.
Yeah.
So one of the things that I always, I guess I heard about comedians, or I don't know, I must have read about it somewhere, but it seems like a thing that sometimes comedians, they make comedy out of things that happen to them in their lives if they've had like a tough time, or do you find that always to be the case, or sometimes people are just funny?
Yeah, I don't consider myself to be just a funny chick. I'm like I said earlier, I've experienced a lot of sadness and dark times in my life.
Yeah.
So some people think I'm funny, but I know people who are really funny. I was able to create an illusion.
Interesting.
And I think that's where my strength, lies. I'm able to turn lemon into lemonade, and I'm
That's
very
so great.
creative. So that's
Mhm.
where my funny comes in.
Cool. And what about men versus women? Do you find that you have to be much more confident and push yourself more than the men in your business, or is it pretty similar?
You know what? I know there's a difference between male comedians and female comedians. Me personally, because I have a strong presence on stage, I never feel like I have to measure up because I kind of feel already unique in my own right.
Hmm.
But I do know that sometimes women, people don't, think of us as funny as men. We get overlooked for a lot of gigs. A lot of times you won't even see a female on the ballot.
Oh,
So, we have a long way to go.
right,
We have a long way to go. But,
right.
you know, um, it's some amazing women out there. Before me, there's a lot of amazing women that's coming up alongside of me and is coming up after me.
It's so great to be able to support each other. And I think women are hysterical. I
Yeah, I
think
think
I'm pretty funny too. So speaking, because I'm just weird. But what about people or comedians that you've maybe grown up listening to? Was there anybody that you or people that you took?
I love
Um,
Cabernet. I'm a huge Cabernet fan.
I remember watching her when I was a
Love
kid.
her.
She was hysterical.
Lucille Ball, silly, yes. Mom's Mabley, oh my gosh. And then the newer comedians, some more, Monique, Lunell, there's so
Hmm.
many, Hope Flood, there's so many
So
amazing
great.
female comedians.
Wow. If you
Roz
could have, say it again.
is an amazing comedian out of Jersey named Roz G, who I was able to do a show with her when I first started doing comedy, and then she got sick, but just
Oh,
working with her at one time was amazing.
wow. Maybe is that somebody you would love to invite to your club?
I would love, oh, absolutely, absolutely. Yep.
So is that something that you would just be like, you know what the hell? I'm going to invite a person like that, or,
Yeah,
just
the
to
thing
come
is,
in or
I'm working on getting my budget up so I can invite, a lot of the people that I have that I'm fond of.
got it.
You need money. You need money to book people. Nobody's gonna come and do
That's true.
comedy for free. So
That's
I'm
right.
trying to raise money. I'm trying to raise donations. I'm trying to promote my club, promote my business as much as I can, so I can have the money to bring out some of the comedians that I grew up watching. I would love that, but they need
Oh,
money.
that'd be so amazing.
They need some money.
Yeah. So if someone wanted to donate to your club, they would go to your website?
They can go to, I have a GoFund, Monique's Comedy Club, GoFund.
Okay.
My Cash App is $ Monique Latisse, $Monique Latisse.
So when we're done with the interview, I think in the comments, we'll put that information on Facebook. So if people want to support, they
Thank you.
can do that. And then if they want to see any upcoming shows, I know that you have your schedule on the site as well, right?
They can go to www.moniquescomedyclub.com.
Awesome.
Yep.
So awesome. I just want to make sure that I'm not forgetting any questions, because I felt like, oh, so what kind of advice would you give your younger self around confidence, or somebody trying to break into the business?
You have to talk. Yes, you have fear. There's always going to be some fear.
Yeah.
And anything you do, there's always going to be the opposite. You know, with the green light, there's a red light.
Yeah.
With the up, there's a down.
Right.
With the left, there's a right. So emotions are the same way. With happiness and joy and success, there's always something trailing behind, pushing you the opposite way.
Right.
So you just have to decide, are you going to allow fear to control you, or are you going to trust what's on the other side?
Such great advice.
You know, it's not always easy. You know,
Right.
there was times that I wish that I was a little bit more aggressive emotionally, because you got to have tough skin in comedy.
Yeah.
Gotta
Right.
have really, because everyone doesn't like you. Everyone
Right.
doesn't believe in your gift. Some people, you know, sometimes if they know you, they really don't believe in you, and not on purpose. Some people just kind of feel like, oh, I know her. She's not great because I know her. And because they know you, they want to pay you a certain amount, you know, and it's just a lot of things that you have to show people how to treat you. And sometimes it makes you look bad.
But it's so important. And I think that it's really hard for people to do that, to show people how to treat them. I think that you're absolutely right. And in order to do that, you have to put it out there, and it's scary, but it's not going to, everything's going to stay the same if you don't
You get
make that
frustrated with
change.
how you're being treated, or you allow people to continue treating you the way they want to treat you. And I feel like people have more respect for you when they see you respecting yourself.
100%.
And you need people in your life. It's important to keep people in your life that believe in you, that see the bigger picture than you.
So that was my next question. You're totally in my head. So did you have to, when you were going through all this and you had this calling that you knew was so strong, did you have to make the decision to kind of, let some people drift away because they just weren't?
You know what I chose to do? I chose to focus on the goal, and I allowed God to take care of everything else around me. And I believe
Understood.
I have better relationships because I was happier.
Love it. You're right. You're right.
I'm doing something that I love, so I feel better. I look better. I move better. You
Right.
know, not bragging, but when
No, it's
people
the
are
truth.
unhappy, they don't look. They look sad, crying. They don't want to be around anyone. They're depressed. I've been there.
Yes.
I've been there.
And I think a lot of people have, and to be able to see somebody come out the other end and have gone through all of that stuff that's so hard, and the hard work that has to be done in order to change your circumstances. And a lot of people are just kind of at the what if stage, what if I did this, or what if I did that, but they're really not ready to actually do it. And that's what the difference between someone like you and somebody who's still back at the very beginning, they can't see the forest through the trees yet.
See, I feel like I had no choice. See, I
Right.
think a lot of people get so comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Yes,
Get
agreed.
so comfortable with
Yes.
being
Yes.
in a bad place.
So at least they know it's bad. They
Right.
don't know what's going to happen if they change something or try something new. And then what do you do then? It's too scary because you just don't know. But but like you said, you get to the place where you're like, I have no choice. I have to make these changes and I have to try it. And I think that's so courageous and just,
Thank
I
you.
love it. It's
Thank
just, your story is so awesome. And I really appreciate you sharing it with us. The last question that I had, which we talked about just briefly when we were emailing back and forth, but I thought it would be, an interesting, maybe just a little thing to just touch on to end our conversation. But given the political climate that we're in right now,
Mhm.
not to make this political, but and all the racial strife, everything that's happening, how do you think that comedy could help to heal the divide? Do
That's a
you
good
think
question.
it could?
I definitely think that comedy has a place on earth.
Mhm.
Comedy provides the atmosphere where people can get away for a minute.
Right.
We can
Kind of
escape.
relax.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And I want to be a part of that. We need that.
you do. You're right.
I can't imagine being in this world and not being able to escape. So, comedy is a way for us to escape for the moment. So we got to keep the ball rolling. We got to keep comedy clubs open, like Monique Latisse's comedy club and different Carolines and Stress Factory, because we all suffered during the pandemic.
Yes.
We all suffered during the pandemic. It's important for us to get the support to get back open because the world needs us.
Yes. It's
Yeah.
really true. Yeah, you're right. And it's just being able to have that momentary, that release from the real world and to be able, and laughter is, like they say, laughter is the best medicine.
The key.
I believe it. I really believe it.
Yeah.
And it's just, this has been such an honor to talk to you. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you for having me. I love this platform. It's a very empowering platform. So I wish you
Well,
all the best.
thank you. That's so nice of you to say. So before we end, I just want to go on, and I have to do this on my phone because I'm not that savvy to get on my lap, because we're talking on my laptop and I can't see anything else except you and me. So I'm going to go on to Facebook on my phone
Okay.
because I'm just not, um, and see if we have anybody on our watching us, and if there's any comments or anything like that. So before yes, there we are. There's a couple people watching. So I don't see any comments, and I don't know if that's just me not seeing any comments, but do you see anything, Monique?
Um, I do see some comments. I'm gonna have to read through it. Yeah, I see some, but
Let's see. Um,
yeah, I see it. I just can't turn it on because then you're gonna hear it.
uh,
Oh,
yeah, we're a couple minutes. Oh, my sister's texting me that there are comments, and somehow I'm not able to find them. Thanks, Allison. Allison says there's lots of comments. What is wrong with me? Um, darn it. Okay, wait.
go on to your page, your group.
I am. Oh, yeah, so it's fun asking all the questions. I just can't oh, okay, wait a minute. Somehow I'm not able to, oh, I'm sorry, everybody. Everyone must think I'm just ridiculous, but I just, it's fun actually having the conversation. I just can't actually do the actual, can you see any? If you want to, you can't.
Let me see if I can go in and turn my phone down. Hold on. Let's see what they're saying.
Thanks for hanging with us, everyone. I know that this is taking a little long.
Let's see. Okay, so what advice would you give an up and coming female? Okay, here's a question. What advice would you give to an up and coming female comedian? I would say find your lane. A lot of times female comedians, we talk about the same topics.
Yeah.
You have to find your lane, find your uniqueness. That's so important for a female comedian, is to find out who you are and find out who you are on stage. Don't change because you think you have to fit in. Don't try to alter who you are. Be proud of who you are, the awkwardness, address the elephant in the room.
Love it.
Whatever the elephant is, address it. And that's going to be the thing that propels you in the business. That's going to be the thing that makes a difference in who you are.
It's great advice. My sister she sent me a question. Did you ever go on stage and bomb? And if so, how did you muster the confidence to get back on stage again?
Oh, I'm so glad. Thank you, sister. Okay. So I had a few ups and downs on stage. Mm-hmm. But one that stands out the most was in 2018, I did Showtime at the Apollo.
Wow.
I came up third place the first time.
Wow. Congratulations.
Thank you. And that's kind of unheard of for a comedian. Oh. The second round two, mm-hmm. I was booed so bad that they didn't even want to come and get me off the stage. They booed the heck out of me. You hear me? Boo! I mean, it was horrible.
Oh.
My whole family was there. My grandpa had just passed away. My daughters were there.
Yes.
Ex-boyfriends were there. It was a mess, girl. A mess. I felt like somebody. I can't even describe how I felt.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But I thank God that my family was there because I had to stay strong for them, because we were in shock. We were
right. Couldn't believe it.
Imagine a whole room booing you at the Apollo Theater.
I would cry.
In front of your whole family.
Oh.
And then to top it off, I was PMSing.
Oh no.
I wanted to die. I wanted to die. I was like, kill me, Lord. Just take me away. Take me away. But somehow I still knew I was the bomb on stage. Like I knew that I was like, now this doesn't reflect who I am. I've already established my career in comedy. I'm glad I got bombed, because sometimes you need things in life to keep you humble.
That's true. Right.
You need things in life to keep you humble. Sometimes humble pie is nasty.
That's true. That is true.
You gotta eat it.
And then when the good things happen, you appreciate them that much more.
You can brag, you can celebrate, because you've been through the trenches. You know what it's like to get booed. You know what it's like to get dirty. So when I brag, when I say God is good, God is good.
Wow, that's a great story. But crazy.
How can we see your comedy? You can go to you can Google Monique Latisse, MONIQUE LATISE. There's tons of videos of performances. You can go to my TikTok. I have TikTok performances, silly clips, Monique. Everything is under Monique Latisse. So if you Google Monique Latisse, you'll see my comedy, my videos.
And we'll also I'll put it in the comments underneath the video when we share. This is over, and I'll share the video out to Monique will share it. I'll have it on my page. So we'll share it around, but we'll also put it in the comments so you can easily get to where you need to go to find all this stuff.
Yes. I'm just saying, thank you for the question.
Oh, I found it after the fact. So, someone said they're going to check it out tonight.
Yep.
Michelle said that.
Thank you,
Marilyn
Michelle.
says she loves Carol Burnett.
Yeah.
And Ellen says most smart people are funny. I would say that that's probably true. You see anything else?
Nope, I think that was it.
So if you're watching this after the fact and you're watching the recording and you want to comment, please feel free. Monique and I will, if it's a question, Monique will be, I'm sure we'll be happy to answer it. And we'll, keep you posted on, what Monique is doing and shows that are coming up. I'd be happy to share them on my page in addition to what Monique has going on hers. And people like Monique need support, and her talent is so great, and she's got a real gift, and you need to check her out. She's really funny. So again, thank you so much for being on the Confidence Interviews with us. And I just wanted to, in addition, is there anything you want to close with? Anything else we haven't touched base on that you want people to know about before we close?
Okay, so I want to share this. 7 years ago, my 18-year-old son was arrested, and it was early in my comedy career. And just when you think that you have found your purpose, you think, things are going to be good now. But the thing about storms is that they will always come.
Right.
Storms will always, in good marriages, bad marriages, good careers, bad careers, family, kids, storms are going to come. There's no way to stop it.
Yeah.
But when you found your purpose, it helps you deal with storms so much better.
Yes.
My son went away to a correctional facility, and I promised myself that by the time he came home, I would have better credit. I would be a well-known comedian. I would be traveling the world, sharing my testimony and my story. He'll be home in exactly 4 weeks. So I have 4 more weeks to reach some of the goals that I set out to reach. So I just want to thank each of you who have been following me during this journey, my new supporters, my new fans. I don't know if I would have gotten through one of the toughest times in my life without so much support. So I just want to say thank you, and just continue laughing, continue supporting comedy, continue believing in those that don't believe in themselves. And, when you feel like giving up, just keep going. Don't even look back, just keep going. Because I promise you, God will send, every time you feel like stopping, God will send someone or something to encourage you to just keep going, even through the darkest times, even through the most unbearable times. Because I've been there. And I can smile today and not feel guilty about it. I can smile today and thank God, because if it wasn't for those times, what kind of boring life would I have? If I wasn't divorced, didn't go through all the issues with my son and all of the relationship issues, what kind of boring life would I have to talk about on stage?
Right.
So you get all of my drama All of you, all of my fans, my supporters, anyone that loves me, you get all of my drama every time I hit stage. No, when you see Monique Latisse on the bill, she is bringing everything that she's ever been through to the stage. And
Love
you know
it.
that gotta be amazing, because how can you go wrong with your truth?
That's right. And thank you for sharing that. That's
Keep
not
going.
easy, not easy.
Keep going, even through the storm, keep going, keep pushing.
It's great advice. And I know that there are people out there listening that are going to be helped by what you shared with us tonight. And that is the purpose of these conversations. And thank you for doing that.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's my pleasure, really. So now, again, like I said, if you're watching this on video later on, feel free to comment or ask your questions. We'll get back to you. And thank you for everybody for watching this episode. And just want to sign off. And again, this is Joyce Fine. The Confidence Interviews are brought to you by The Confidence Hustle, which is my website.
I love that. I love that name.
Oh, thanks. Thank you. So if you're interested in getting some support and help with your confidence, by all means, join the free Facebook group, which is facebook.com/groups/build confidence. And if you're interested in working with me and talking more about how you can build your confidence and achieve your goals, go to my website, which is confidencehustle.com. And I'm also now on Instagram. So check us out on Instagram and follow us there. Also The Confidence Hustle. And I really appreciate everybody tuning in again, and be on the lookout for our next session of the confidence interviews in a few weeks. And when I confirm what we're going to be talking about, I'll let everybody know. So have a wonderful evening. Thanks again, Monique, for being with us. This was a great conversation. And I look forward to seeing more of the amazing things you're going to be doing with everything on your plate.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Good night, everyone. Take care. Bye.
Bye-bye. Talk to you soon.
Righty, you got it.